It is the Happy Camper Radio Show. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and no doubt about it, my friends. You hang around with us long enough, we're going to make a happy camper out of you. Hello, Daniel. Woo! Glad to have you back in the studio again. It's episode 192, and on today's show, Daniel, we're going to be talking about repair or replace. Now, camping equipment is just like anything else in your life. Things do break down. And sometimes we have the knowledge to repair things. Sometimes we're going to hold on to that old nostalgia stuff, okay? Sometimes we need to replace it. But we're going to talk about that, whether it's your camping equipment, whether it's your RV, or whatever you may have. Repair or replace, you're going to have to make that decision sometime soon. We'll talk about it today on this edition of Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio. And of course, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, MyRoadGuide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and of course on Spotify. Tell all your friends to tune into Happy Camper Radio today. Our phone number here at the Happy Camper Radio Show is 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, we're on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. And talk about getting you ready to go on vacation. We have Mr. Vacation in the studio himself.
Daniel Pitts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Daniel, where are you heading now?
Tampa,
Florida.
Yes.
Oh, that's home of Betty Crocker. And she's going to be staying here. That's your new
home of Bigfoot.
That is your new next door neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah. But, she is now the tenant. Of course, I'm over here. I'm in the what she call it, the better house. The better house. And of course, this is
better house.
Hey, you got to admit, this is the better studio.
In the bunker. Skips in the bunker.
So yeah, you're going to be gone for a while. You get more vacation time with the post office than anybody that I have ever met.
I hardly use it, and we deserve it.
Oh,
today is Columbus Day, by the way, and I have off today, and my off day tomorrow. Look, we know how to use our off days, okay? So
everybody, Daniel, deserves a vacation.
Exactly,
including myself, and I'm retired.
Yeah. So
I get this, Daniel, and I'd never believed this until a good friend of mine told me. And for folks, for you out there who are going to be retiring someday soon, maybe retirement is somewhere on the horizon like Daniel has. But I have had, I have a good friend of mine at church. Okay, and I work there every Saturday. I'm do one of the things in the church. It's either running the soundboard or doing the video streaming. But I'm an AV type of guy myself. Anyway, he told me, and he retired before I did. He says, Skip, do yourself a favor. He says, get all your projects out of the way before you retire, because once you retire, you're not going to have time to do it. And oh, how true that is. Wow. Daniel, I have got more things going on in retirement. It seems like I'm busier being retired than I was when I was working.
Because you're doing all the stuff you love. That's the thing.
Well, and this is one of them. This is
definitely.
Not work, Daniel.
I'm jealous.
This is not work, but I'm telling you, when you something wrong with the car, this needs fixed. You're remodeling, you're repairing, you're doing something, or somebody's calling you, wanting you to help them out because they know you've got all this time on your hands. Yeah. My head.
I can understand that.
You have enough time to just catch your second breath. I'll tell you, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just how busy you can be.
Oh, so, definitely.
And one of these days, hey, I'm going to get away, and I really need to, because I was over there the other day at the rental property. Yes, and I was out there raking leaves.
Oh, you were raking?
I was raking.
I heard a rumor that you had a blower.
Well, I had a blower, but I still.
My wife was blowing.
Yeah, I know. She followed my lead because she was out there. I saw her with that big old blower.
Let's just set the stage. If you live where we do in Georgia during this time, you either have to rake or blow literally every single week, or you're not going to be able to catch up.
Unless you got one of those big leaf catchers on the back of your mower like I have.
Yeah, well, I've got one of those, but, leaf catcher, but like you have to blow every week or it doesn't look like you did anything, because like 2 weeks ago, I blew my front yard and 5-10 minutes later, it looked okay. Like okay. Like if you hired a company to do your yard and they blew your yard and you looked at your yard 5 minutes later, you'd be like, that's okay because leaves already are falling. Like it's 24/7.
Daniel, that this means it is okay because it's fall, and fall camping is really about me.
Yeah. Well, here's my problem. Here's my problem with fall camping. When are the bugs going to go away? Because me and my buddy yesterday, because you met him yesterday, we're in the backyard playing games and everything. The gnats, the bugs, the mosquitoes, they were everywhere. When do bugs go away? That's my problem.
Very simple, Daniel. When you spray yourself down with Sportsman's Repel,
we had that. Yeah, we had
29 that. With 29 DEET, okay, they will go away.
29. We only had 15.
Okay. Well, there's your problem right there.
We weren't as hardcore.
Yeah, but hey, whether it's fall or summertime, and you got the bugs around, you've got to spray down,
you
Daniel.
Do. Definitely.
It's you look at it like this. It's like aftershave lotion to us when we're putting it on. But the bugs, they will keep their distance. I'm not going to say you're going to attract any women to you, right? But hey, you put that repel on there, Daniel, and you'll get rid of the bugs.
But here's the problem: like they stay away from you, but they stay like 3 feet away from you because you still see them, and you're like, oh, just go away completely, and it's so.
Daniel,
annoying.
just look the bug right in the eye and hold that can right up and say, "Get back."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but anyway, Daniel, on the show today, I want to talk about camping gear. I don't know how much camping gear you actually have outside of that trailer, unless you got it stuffed in there somewhere. But you've seen my supply.
Right.
I've got a lot of stuff. I carry a lot of stuff with me, and I carry them in those big old bins. Now, sometimes it's going to, equipment's going to break down. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
All right. But, should you just throw that stuff in the trash and buy something new? Now, if money is no object, then okay, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
All right. But me, I like to hold on to stuff. I love equipment, and I'll give you a perfect example of this, Daniel. When we went camping, you, me, and the better half, you remember that big 3-burner stove I brought along?
Oh, yeah.
All right. That was just recently refurbished.
Okay.
I bought that back in the early 90s. It just came out. It was the one of Coleman's first 3-burner stoves. And you could either use unleaded gasoline or Coleman fuel. Now, back then, I was really cheap, and I was using gasoline.
Okay.
But then the Coleman fuel, let's be honest, I mean, it burns cleaner.
Right.
And I really, enjoy using Coleman fuel. And, of course, I have my lanterns. The old lanterns that I've got only take the Coleman fuel. The newer lanterns take either unleaded gasoline or the Coleman fuel. But here's the problem, Daniel. Unlike it was back in the 90s, some people call it white gas. Some people call it Coleman fuel. I shouldn't be really throwing the Coleman brand out there because there's a lot of companies that do.
You're a Coleman man.
Well, yes. I mean, I've got Coleman equipment. And they are like the godfathers of camping.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of good gear.
Deny that.
But Daniel, the fuel that you put inside here, if you're not using the unleaded gasoline and you're using the white gas, I don't care where you go. I mean, it's outrageously priced today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's something like $12 a gallon.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. And it wasn't that way back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But I mean, either way, it's one of these things. If I can find the parts for them, if I can go ahead and repair and rather than replace, that's me, Daniel. That Coleman stove that I bought back in the 90s, there was I'm trying to remember what the name of that store over here was. It's right next to PetSmart. What was that? Was that?
Oh, Sports Authority?
Sports Authority. There it is. They're not around anymore. But that's where I bought that at.
Okay.
And I had some good use out of that. Over the years, I mean, it got used. There's some chips and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, the burners were started going out. And I just managed to look online and find all the parts that I needed to refurbish that. Because, the equipment like that, Daniel, it brings back a lot of good memories.
Oh, yeah.
It's when I set that stove up and I'm saying to myself, wow, I think back of the times up in Hiawassee with all my buddies, some of them are gone and, gone on their way now. But, it brings back a lot of memories. And I use that stove all the time.
Well, let me just stop you right there. It's like, it's not about, repair, replace. It's like, okay, maybe I could repair it and it's maybe a little bit more than replacing or a little bit less, but like, it's all about the memories, It's like, oh, I brought this up. Oh, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. Because like when I was a kid, we had a StarCraft pop-up and we used it until the time I was like, until I went out of the house and joined the Navy. And like, I couldn't imagine camping in another trailer because I don't think people get that, when you use something that long, it means something. And that meaning has a price. You have memories behind these stoves. You have memories behind this. If you get a new thing, it doesn't have any memories. Maybe it's more efficient. Maybe it works better. Maybe this, that, but it just doesn't have the memories. And like, I get a big kick out of like using the stuff that my parents used, or maybe my wife's parents used, like when they were camping. I get a big kick out of that because it's all about the nostalgia, and it just makes me feel like better. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense, especially if, you are a child of a parent or grandparent who took you camping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And some of that gear was passed on down to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say, Daniel, I was not mechanically inclined. Maybe I didn't even know how to turn a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a piece of camping equipment that my grandparents or my parents passed on down to me.
Exactly.
And I couldn't repair it, Daniel, I wouldn't have the heart to throw it away.
Yeah, you get it repaired. If you can't
if you find something.
Yeah. Because like when you get it repaired and then you use it, you remember, oh, my grandma used to use it, my mom used to use it, my grandfather used to use it. Oh, I remember when we went here or here or here. Everyone's getting older, don't get me wrong. But like it just makes you feel so warm inside.
That's
I
right.
can't explain it. It's just this feeling that it just makes me feel so good. And I love it. That's what I love about camping, because like maybe technology changes, but you're still outdoors, enjoying nature, doing your thing and having fun, going places, seeing things. That's what I get out of it.
Now, my brother, who was in town not long ago, he's coming back here for Thanksgiving. Bringing my mom down here. We got a big surprise for her when she's coming down.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, him and I talk all the time, and we relive quite a few of the memories of what it was like growing up. Now, one set of grandparents, and both sets of grandparents, Daniel, we love them to death, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But my mother's parents, all right, always took all 5 of us kids anytime they went somewhere. And back in those days, Daniel, you don't see them around anymore, but if you can lay your hands on a Scotty trailer, that's kind of like a step up from a teardrop. Okay. It's a very small trailer.
Okay.
But try to imagine myself, my grandfather, my grandmother, and my 4 brothers and sisters all climbing inside that thing and going to sleep. Oh, well, we've done that a number of years, and they rented the Scotty trailer for an entire week. And there's campgrounds we went to, and I'll tell you what, to this day, Daniel, and this is going way, way back. This is going back into the 60s and 70s when we actually went out like that. But, we relive those memories all the time. If I knew that there was a Scotty trailer somewhere here in Atlanta that somebody was trying to unload, I'd probably go out and spend my last dime on it.
Yeah, well, speaking of your Scotty trailer, my grandparents had a high-low back in like the 80s and early 90s, and we'd go up to Virginia where they lived, and we'd meet halfway in between, and we'd camp at a campsite with me, my sister, my mom, my dad, and like my dad's sisters and her kids and my cousins and everything, and my grandparents, and they had a high-low. So like I feel like it's the same thing with me and a high-low. I know they have newer versions of a high-low, but that would bring back memories just like you. So I'm totally down for that. I totally understand.
Now, for people who have a travel trailer or a truck camper or something a little bit bigger. You're not your primitive camper anymore. Now you actually upgraded. And there was a time, like I said, when I upgraded and I got that truck camper and I took it everywhere with me. And back then, Daniel, gasoline was $1 a gallon.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
like literally right up the road from you. I remember when it was like literally not even a joke, people. I remember like in the mid 90s when it was like 78 cents a gallon, cheapest gas I've ever seen in the world. It was a Circle K at the time, but like right up the road from where Skip lived, it was like 78 cents a gallon. I never seen it cheaper in my life, even though I couldn't drive at the time. I was like, probably 10, 12 years old at the time, but like I never seen gas so cheap in my life. And I remember the gas station that was like literally two doors down from you was 99 cents when it opened up, like as the grand opening. So yeah, a lot of things have changed.
Yeah, I haven't used that truck camper in a long time. It does need some work, both inside and out, and I'm eventually going to get that done and get it sold and get it out of my life. It was fun while I had it the many years, and did a lot of camping and spent many nights working part-time jobs in law enforcement when I didn't want to drive all the way home. But Daniel, I can remember when I first bought that camper, and it was custom ordered from the factory.
Nice.
And when they got it here, I couldn't wait to get it on the truck. But probably for the first 2 months, Daniel, things went wrong with that camper. And I had to take it back up there. And of course, they had a repair station there where they were able to, do the repairs. But it seems like it took forever for them to get that thing right. I don't know. Maybe they build it on a Monday or maybe they build it on a Friday, how that goes in the automobile industry. They say you don't buy a car, if they build it on a Monday or Friday because, what kind of condition your workers are going to be in. But anyway, thank heavens the thing was under warranty at that time.
Yeah.
Because if I had to take it up now, and of course that place is not there anymore, but if I had to take it to a camper or a repair center, you probably would pay an arm and a leg for parts. Mm-hmm. And I think anybody else out there who has a motorhome or a travel trailer who actually had to get some repair work done that was out of warranty, as well as I do that some of the parts in the RV industry are just priced unbelievably high.
Yeah.
And I've had to buy a couple things outside of warranty before, and believe me, I know that experience. It's not good. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's a decision you have to make eventually if you want to go ahead and continue repairing. Dana, we have tents, right? Both of us have tents. I use mine more than you do, but every now and then you're going to get a hole in there and it's going to have to be patched. Yeah. And we all know how to patch up holes. Mm-hmm. So, small holes like that, you want to go ahead and get that repaired and you can probably do it yourself. On the other hand, if you get a big tear in your tent, if you let your kids run around and don't pay any attention to them, because as well as I do, Daniel, when we were young, we were as high strung as can be.
Right.
And kids are the same way today. Yeah. But if they run around and they don't pay any attention, if the parents don't show them any discipline and allow them to continue running wild at camp, accidents can happen. Yeah. If you get a big tear in the tent, then you may have to make that decision. Well, it's time to go ahead and throw this in the trash and get myself a new one.
Okay, well, let me throw this out. So a couple years ago, we went to Trail Days, which is a big Appalachian Trail celebration. We went with Gary and Katie, and we camped out there. It was like a whole festival thing, and they have all kinds of vendors and stuff. And if you had a problem like with your tent or with your backpack or anything, there were tons of vendors that would fix it for free. So, like, as far as if you were one of those people who's like an AT hiker or a PCT hiker or CDT hiker, I know the PCT has their own festival out west, and I went to the one out here, and all the ones, because I know me and Deidre had a problem with our tent, and the distributor from the tent was there and they fixed our problem. And I I had a backpack from, no, actually, it wasn't me. It was Gary. He tried to get his backpack fixed for the past, 3 or 4 years, and he never had the time because he was either selling his book or doing whatever. And that year, I took his backpack to the distributor, and they fixed it to, the best they could, and it was good to go. So you got to think about things like that. So if you're like an AT hiker or something, and there are events like that, and if people will fix it for free, I mean, go for it. But like, as far as like,
I would have
trailers,
Daniel, if somebody did that for me, I would have to cook them a cheeseburger or something.
I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing what they did. But it was great. Like the thing about it is we bought our tent off of eBay. We used it one time, and then we used it when we went up to the trail days up in Virginia, in Damascus, where the AT actually goes through. And there were all the distributors there, and they fixed it for us, no problem, for free. I mean, it didn't take that long, but it was just really great. It was just basically they wanted to say, "Hey, we're going to do a favor for you. We love that you're campers, and we want to encourage you to keep doing this kind of lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle. Once you get into camping, it's almost impossible to get out.
You're absolutely right about that. And Daniel, we're talking about fall right now, and not very far down the road is going to be winter.
Mm-hmm.
And some people here on the Nextdoor app have, just yesterday I was looking at this. Somebody's claiming we're going to have one nasty winter this year. And
I've heard that.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I prepare. Yes, maybe I'll buy an extra truckload of firewood because I got a beautiful fireplace here.
You do?
It's right on the other side of that wall where you're sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, I'm going to go ahead and prepare. I'm going to get a lot of, non-perishable food items here. And this is something, folks, if you are a camper and you're really into this program like Daniel and I are, you may have some friends or some people in your life that may not be campers. And no matter how hard or how difficult it is to talk to people like this, one thing you might want to make them consider is, in a situation like this, if you have a home and you have electric appliances in the kitchen, I'm not talking gas appliance or gas stove or anything like that, but if that electricity goes out, you're going to be eating cold cuts. You're going to have a hard time with the refrigerator, because eventually, depending upon how long the power is going to be out, you may have some spoilage in there. They say average of 4 hours if you keep the doors closed. But this will be an excellent time to prepare. And if you need to, talk these folks into buying one of those, or maybe two of those butane stoves that has the little butane tanks that fit inside them, look like hairspray cans. You can get about 4 good meals out of that. And, you can keep them in the trunk of your car. I mean, they got their own little suitcase for them and everything. If you happen to be stuck on the road and, you need to cook a can of baked beans or something like that, they got a little pot there. Yeah, you can do that. But it's something really to keep handy in the event of a bad storm that may be brewing somewhere that you're not prepared for, and you've got electric appliances, and you may be without power maybe for a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to have a hot meal. And this is one way, and it's an inexpensive way to go ahead and prepare that meal, because those little stoves, Daniel, they only go for about $25 a piece.
Yeah.
There's really not much to them, but wow, do they really heat the food up.
Oh, yeah.
And you can boil water real quick with those.
Definitely.
So, that's something to consider. It's fall, it's not winter yet, but if you enjoy planning ahead like I do, and like Daniel does, like he's planning for this vacation, and him and I sat here in the studio for probably about 30 minutes and talked before we actually flipped the microphone switch on here. But yeah, it's preparation. That's exactly what it's all about. So yeah, I'm set, Daniel, and I know you're going on this vacation, and I knew you're all very excited about it. And
I'm very excited.
Maybe if you have have a moment, you can go ahead and give us a call here on the studio line, and let us know what things are like.
I'll leave a message.
Okay, I take it you're staying in a hotel, right?
We're staying at a VRBO. So, like, I think we talked about this before, but like VRBOs, I don't know how many.
What is a VRBO?
Well, it's a vacation rental by owner, and you usually think like it's a hotel, it's an apartment or whatever. But the thing about it is, a lot of places that we saw, people will park their their RV or whatever next to their house, and they'll earn money from being a VRBO. Like they'll connect the power, they'll connect the gas, and
in other words, you've got a vacation traveler that's camping in your RV right next to where you live.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they're charging like I don't know, like the lowest hotel rent you can imagine, like $50-$60 to stay at a pretty decent RV, like right next to the owner's house. It's got gas, it's got water, it's got electric, it's got bathroom, and it's right next to their house, and you're spending $40-$50 a night. And when I was a kid, it was always about saving money. You pay like we were through coast to coast or whatever, and we would stay at different campgrounds, and it would be really, really cheap. But like when you stay at some of these VRBOs that are actual trailers or campers, you can save a lot of money by like, oh, I'm staying in a camper. It's fine. It's $40-$50 a month, but you have everything you need. You have the kitchen, you have the stove, you have a bed, you have everything you need. A lot of people who aren't into this kind of stuff don't realize how inclusive RVs can be, and it's a great option. So maybe you don't want to take your trailer because of gas prices. I know gas prices are in this area, it's almost $3 a gallon. So maybe you don't want to take your trailer because of all the gas prices, but don't discount the VRBOs that are trailers that will suit all your needs,
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. If you're not going to be using your trailer, if you're not going to be camping, it's just going to be sitting there. Why not make some money with it? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Definitely.
Works out that way just fine.
Absolutely.
It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio. Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel.
Yes.
You like potatoes, don't you?
I love potatoes.
Okay, well, why not? Let's go to the state of Idaho.
Woo.
Yeah, when we think of Idaho, we think of potatoes, right? Yeah, okay. And I bet you they got some really big potatoes out there. Baked potatoes, I love them to death. Anyway, we're going to take you out to the Sunny Gulch Campground. It's part of the Sawtooth National Forest. Sunny Gulch Campground sits along the shores of the Salmon River in the forests of central Idaho. Sunny Gulch offers several campsites, a handful of which are close to large picnic shelters. These sites and the shelter are perfect for family reunions, weddings, and other events. The shelter contains a grill, utility tables, Dutch oven cooking service, and 8 picnic tables. Vault toilets and drinking water are provided. Roads and parking spurs are paved. The campground offers spectacular views of the Sawtooth Mountain. Summer wildflowers are plentiful. Lodgepole pines provide partial shade. Temperatures are cool with an average summer high of 78 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. If you enjoy fishing, hey, excellent fishing opportunities are right there out your back door on the Salmon River with rainbow trout, west slope cutthroat trout, and occasional hybrid cutbows and bull trouts are available. Check out all the information on their website. We're going to have it on Happy Camper Radio, have you a link right there all week long. Check out all the activities, amenities, everything that they have available. If you're out there in the state of Idaho, this is a great opportunity for you to go camping. And again, if you don't have a recreation.gov account, this will be an excellent opportunity for you to go ahead and sign up. It doesn't cost you a dime to do that. You can get yourself a free account. Look for that little blue button in the upper right-hand corner that says sign up. It makes your reservation process go so much smoother anytime you book a recreation.gov account with your recreation.gov campground. I don't know if I'm going to be out there in Idaho, but Daniel, the pictures look awesome. It might encourage me to make a trip one of these days since I'm retired. But anyway, if you want to go to Idaho and you want to go camping, consider the Sunny Gulch Campground. It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, SKIP at happycamperradio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. Well, Daniel, I want you to have a wonderful time. I want to hear all the details about this trip and that RVBO or VBRO, whatever it is we're talking about. Yeah, okay, I want to hear a full report on that as well. But anyway, we'll be back in the studio with you again real soon. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do like Daniel and I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. When you get this guy in a trailer, he's definitely a happy camper. Go for it, Daniel. Yeah. Hang around with us long enough, we'll make a happy camper out of you. We'll be talking to you again real soon. Thanks for joining us. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.